This is a quick overview of a new wiggler filter. In the past, I wanted to add some random motion to my animation in Cavalry. I already had my keyframes and simulation set in stone. I don't want to change it. I just wanted to add a little bit of jitter, a little bit of shake to various properties in my composition. So let me show you how it works. I have a simple composition with a single shape in the middle. Once you install Wiggler filter, you will find it in the filters menu. So let's enable it and let's see what we're dealing with. We have two tabs available to us, the Wiggler tab and RGB Split, which we'll cover in just a minute. So what this filter do is essentially allows you to easily add a random shake, a random movement to different properties. So as you can see, we've got position, rotation, scale, skew, and opacity here. And we have the same properties available to essentially randomize. So what I mean by this, right now, my layer doesn't have any behaviors, any keyframes. When I press play, you'll notice that it actually jumps around. This happens because we are essentially wiggling the position property of this shape layer. So let's link position X to position X minimum to max and invert them with using minus value expression. And this way I can maybe bump it up to 100 to minus 100, press play, and we've got our layer jumping around between different points. We can do the same on both Y as well. Press play, and as you can see, our layer keeps jumping around. The motion is not smooth because we have essentially posterized filter enabled on top of it. So my composition has a frame rate of 25. So this filter essentially means change the position property or any of these properties every 12 frames. So if I do it every single frame, then the whole thing essentially wiggles every single frame. We can do it on 2s, on 4s, and so on. Now, what's cool about this is that we've got option to either speed this up for every single property differently and option to make it smooth. So this is how it looks at the moment. You can see the whole thing jumps around quite rapidly from spot to spot. It essentially teleports. If I enable smoothing, just basic linear, this is much smoother now. I have a bunch of other ones. We've got ease in and bounce. So you got a little bit more hectic motion. And there's a bunch of other presets which you can explore on your own. This is the position property. Now, let's say I want to randomly rotate this square as well. So I can enable it, and we got these controllers, and we can enable the rotation between these two values, essentially minimum and max. So let's make it between minimum 15 and max of 45. Press play, and as you can see, let's make it linear so it's smooth. As you can see, we've got a rather hectic motion updated on every 4th frame. So let's make it smooth, so on every single frame. And now this thing is really hectic, but we can slow it down to maybe 0.1. And there you go, it actually moves and eases in, but our rotation is a little bit too quick, so make it even smoother. And now we have a very smooth random motion, including rotation, with different seed values, different timing as well. So we got separate timing controls, and we can add extra randomness by using ease functions separately from each other. So press play. Let's make a time scale of maybe 0.3. And there you go. This thing shakes now as it moves. And I can zero out easily, for example, position Y. So now this layer will essentially move only sideways and then randomly rotate from side to side. So let's have a look. And the whole thing is done procedurally. It's only a single layer, and I can enable all of these different properties to affect essentially all the main transformation properties here, but with a single filter. So I find this filter pretty useful because let's say I'll create a little bit of animation, a few keyframes on my timeline, and we will see how we can make this animation much more random without affecting my underlying keyframes. So I have a simple animation of a square just moving around my composition. Let's say I'm super happy with the way it looks and I want to add a little bit of randomness to it. So let's enable the wiggler layer as we had it before. Go back to the beginning, press play, and you can see that we created much more random looking animation just by adding this simple filter with a bunch of controllers added to it. This filter will essentially respect any kind of animation, any motion you have as a part of this layer, and it will simply move it around the composition based on these selections you made here. And for example, I changed my mind. I don't want to rotate, but I want to skew my layer a little bit. So we've got option to skew it on both X and Y axis. This side is minimum, this is max. Let's go, and we've got this rather shaky looking animation, a little bit too crazy for me, so let's add some easing to it, and let's maybe change the timescale to 0.1, and as you can see, our little rectangle moves around following these keyframes, shakes from side to side, and changes the skew as well. We've got options essentially to modify any of the main transformations options, the scale, skew, rotation, and position. And I can turn this off. And let's have a look at opacity. Opacity works on the percentage. So essentially, right now, my opacity is at 100. And we've got plus and minus, so I can clamp it to a higher level, essentially plus 5% of the existing value. So it would clamp to 100 more often. And I can try and subtract maybe minus 20. Let's see how this looks. And we've got a little flashing square. I can do a max of 0. So we're not adding any values. We're only subtracting 20% of the current opacity value. Press play, and we've got again flashing square. Let's maybe smooth this out by using the smooth option timescale 0.2. So essentially, timescale slows down the change here. And we've got a little bit of dimming on and on going on. And you can easily turn down the wiggle amount so you can slow down all this craziness when you want to without having to keyframe all of these properties. So for example, let's keep it at 100. And as my layer stops, as my square hits the last keyframes, I want to essentially turn off my wiggle. So let's see how this will look. We got a bit of flashing, bit of random motion, and then we got the whole thing settled in place. Now the extra padding section by default is set to 400 by 400 pixels. This means that the boundaries of this layer essentially are being expanded by 400 pixels on either side. This will help prevent clipping if you have some extreme motion and your layer jumps around the whole scene. So let me demonstrate how this will look like if padding is set to 0 and, for example, we've got an ellipse. I press play and you can see that this ellipse gets essentially cut off by its own bounding box. So this padding allows us to prevent this, and it's set quite high but it shouldn't affect performance. And finally, we've got anti-aliasing option. It's set to normal or high. By default, it's set to off. And in my testing, I haven't found an extreme case where I had to use it, but it's there if you need it. It might be useful for some curved shapes or letters and so on. So now let's have a look at RGB Split tab. So first I'm going to turn off opacity and I'm going to maybe add -100 on both X and Y. Let's see how this looks. So my eclipse moves around and keeps shaking. Perfect. This is what we want. So if I go to RGB Split tab, essentially this allows us to create a delayed motion of our layer. So let's turn this on. And you will see that we've got a little bit of ghosting happening. So this is the RGB split. So let's see how this looks like in practice. And essentially we've got extra copy of our layer that moves around with the same properties like position, rotation, scale, and so on, but it's slightly delayed. And we can easily control the amount of delay per channel to create RGB split effect. And this might be visible with maybe something like a blue color. So you can see we've got nice RGB split effect going on. Let me just zoom out, find the layer. And for example, I can try and add a little bit more delay to either of the channels to create more hectic look. So essentially we've got multiple copies of the same layer and they are overlapping each other to essentially show as the main color. So this effect is here if you need it, and you can dial down the strength of it as needed and as well turn it on and off if you don't need it. So hopefully you'll find this little tool useful and you can use it to further customize your animations in Cavalry much easier than before. Thanks for watching.